Hello everybody and welcome back to Rise of Industry. As always, I am Dor, and today we're going to go ahead and set up the train line between the farms that we have over here and the warehouse that we have over by the town. In between episodes, I realized that I didn't actually set up the berry farm to send back the berries to the town, so we were just having this thing idle and build up its inventory here, not actually sell any of the berries. So I went ahead and fixed that, and now we are actually making a profit here. So we're not making too much, I don't think, or I guess we're making 100,000. I guess we'll see if this year turns into 100,000 as well, but we might be making about 6 figures a year now just off of that stuff. So that's a good sign. We actually are starting to kind of make a profit here. But I went ahead and took a look at the competitors here, and one of the computers up here is just going all in on farming. So they just have a ton of farms down and they're producing a bunch of crops. And then the other faction is down over here, and they're just going ham into like paper mills and stuff and just polluting the whole area, not really bothering with the pollution scrubbers. So I don't know if we're just wasting money by having those down or not, but it is what it is. So we're gonna go back to our thing, and we are going to go ahead and lay down the trains and stuff. I also realized that we can't actually have the farm fields as big as I thought we were going to be able to. How do I set this as a train thing? Oh, right here. Yeah, I forgot. There we go. So we need to rearrange the farm fields at some point here because we can't use the entire radius of the farm itself, because in the upgrade menus here, or the tech trees here, we only have 4 upgrades for it, I think. So we can only have a total of 5 fields at a time, or 2 upgrades. So we have 3 already, so we can only do 2 more if we upgrade any of these. And I don't think those are in any other of the research trees here. So I think 2 extra fields is the max that we're going to be able to do, just like we do with the harvesters and stuff. So we can only have 5 fields down, so we can kind of squeeze these things a little closer together and make more farms in that area instead of what we have right now. So I think that's all we need to do for that. And looking at it, we actually have the freaking train station backwards. That's great. All right, well, that was a pretty costly mistake there. I thought the other side of the buildings were the entrance and exit. I didn't realize that the stop and start sign right here were on the tracks, so we just lost a ton of money by doing that. We're going to have to take out a loan to continue building this thing out. That was my bad there. That's a complete oopsie on my end. Let's go ahead and connect this into the road, though, so that this can go somewhere. I think we need to connect that to the road, and then we need to take out a bank loan. How do we do that? I think we click on our warehouse or headquarters. Yeah, we click on that, and then we can go ahead and take out a loan. So let's see. We have settlement loans, which we don't want to do. We're not going to settle anywhere, and that's really all we have. We can't take out like a lump sum of cash. So we can do Orin because we're already here, right? We don't need to do anything, I don't think. But it's another $10 million loan. We can't like take out only like $1 million or something. And let's see, it's an interest rate of 10%, and it looks like it's across the board here. Let's hold off on that for a second because we are generating cash again. So let me go back over here. We need to place down a warehouse. And let's see, we're going to have things trucking to it just to kind of save some time. We need 150, which we have at the moment. So we could actually place this one somewhere right here because we're going to rearrange this at some point in the future anyways. Or actually we can scoot it a little bit more this way so that we get more farms attached to it at some point. So something like that would work, since it has all 3 of them in the farm area right now. So we'll go ahead and place it there to begin with. And then we need to run a road to connect into the other one so we don't run into any issues with this thing. And then we need a train depot connected to this, which I think we might be able to do, or it might not let us do it. I'm not quite sure. But that should work, having it right there. And then we need to connect that into the road as well, so it's connected and able to receive products, I suppose. And now we need to run train tracks all the way back to this depot here. But we're going to have to go over this little hill here, so that's going to be a little bit more pricey. We're negative 460,000 right now, but it's still letting us place stuff, so I'm fine with that, to be honest here. Let me see. How do I go about placing the train tracks? There we go. $200 a track here. So there we go. We got the bankruptcy alert. We went into like $500,000 in the hole here. So let's go ahead and take this. It's going to have an interest rate of 25%, and it's only going to be 5 million. Or yeah, it's only going to be 5 million, and we need to pay it back over the next 5 years, or we, I think, get another bankruptcy alert, or we immediately fail. I'm not quite sure here, but we have to take it nonetheless. I'm going to leave it paused while we do this, because if we mess up, then we can go ahead and just delete stuff and not lose out on the money, because right now we are doing really, really bad here. We are going to go a little bit past the oil fields here. Something like that should work. And we'll go ahead and have the other one follow along with it like this. And let's see. We need you guys to come out a little bit and go at an angle so you guys can clear the roads here. And then we need the tracks to go about here-ish for right now. Let's see if this is going to work. Something like that. And then can I just go ahead and drag this over and connect it into this? We will be able to do that, but it's going to make it... Well, actually, no, that's fine, right? Because it just goes straight and then it turns and goes straight again into this one. We do slightly go over a hill, so that's fine. We're going to do that. And then I think we can do it with this one as well. It should just automatically do it, and it does indeed. So that's all we should need to do. And then I need to go through the warehouses again and rearrange the stuff so that we don't have the trucks driving across the town here and just using the train depot to kind of save time and money here. Okay, so I think I have this set the way it needs to be set. I completely disabled all the other stuff that I had set up last episode, where I had the water siphon sending it directly to the air purifiers. I just have all the water going to the warehouse, and then the warehouse is distributing that between the buildings as it needs to, because they're within range of it, so we can just go ahead and have it do it like this. That way it kind of just separates the stuff out and does it evenly, so that if we have a backlog, we can begin selling it to the town, and if we don't have a backlog, then we kind of know we need more of this stuff being generated. But hopefully that works. I do notice that our trains are not moving yet, and I don't know why, because they should be moving. They should be doing something. Let me see if maybe we throw it into a double speed here. They start moving. Okay, now it should be working. I had to go ahead and actually set the routes up, even though it tells me that they can go ahead and outgo with the products here. But I guess, yeah, that kind of makes sense, right? So all I had to go ahead and do is set up the own little individual route like I had to go ahead and do last episode with all the other little buildings. But now we have the trains going back and forth, and hopefully our profit margin starts to grow. We had 100,000, ran out of money relatively quickly there because we accidentally placed one more of these that we shouldn't have had placed down, or placed it the wrong way. But I do notice that there's some locomotives that don't have a train car attached to them, and I'm not quite sure why that is. I'm gonna see, is this thing carrying anything? It is not carrying anything. Let's see if there's one on the inbound lane, and there is, so this is also not carrying anything. What are you supposed to be carrying? It doesn't tell me. It just says that it has nothing. Not too sure here. Maybe I change these things over to carry full loads only and not single loads. Ooh, no, I don't want that one. Maybe then they'll stop driving around with only a locomotive here, because that might be pretty costly compared to the vehicles we had down to begin with. Let me change all of these over and make sure that we have as much coming out of here as we can. So we just lost 140,000, and that's not really a good sign, especially now that we have to deal with the loan interest rates. So that's not a good sign here. Let me throw it into a 3x mode here to see if we can go ahead and get things kind of squared away. The sooner that we get that the 5 million paid off, the better we're gonna be here. What are these guys coming in with? These guys have the water going to the purifier. Okay. Okay, well, we got another random event here for the town that we're in. It wants us to deliver 59 wooden planks to them, but we don't have that researched at the moment. That is going to be another, I think, like 200,000 to go ahead and research. It's actually going to go ahead and be 400,000 to go ahead and research, so that's not something we can do. We don't really have the money to really try and do that at the moment, and then we need to go ahead and set the factory up and try and turn that in. So yeah, we didn't bother with it. The computers went ahead and took that. We do have a profit of 200,000 right now. We're still losing 97,000 apparently. And let's see, anything looking better? It's not really looking any better here. I think I went ahead and went through and changed all of the trucks to only be leaving with a full load, to kind of cut down on traffic and cut down on how many trucks are going out, because there's no point in having the vehicles moving around with only one unit in it at the moment, at least. Okay, so we are kind of going profitable and back into the red over and over again. We are kind of bouncing back and forth between 3.5 million and 4 million over and over again here, or maybe not that low, maybe like 3.7 or 3.8 or something like that. And then we go back up to 4 million, and then we drop back down, and then go back up a little bit, and then back down again. So I think all that's really going to do is delay us from being able to pay off this loan in the 5-year period that it said that we had to. And I don't know what happens in that 5-year period. I don't know if it's an immediate like bankruptcy thing, or if we just have to take out another loan or something to pay off that loan. I don't know how this is going to work. And there's really not much else I can do, because I think I kind of went about it the wrong way. I probably should have started the game off by going into farming, because that was probably a lot simpler to do, because all we needed to do was supply it with water, and then we could have sent most of the farming crops back over to the town to go ahead and just make some sort of income, instead of doing this, which is still not sellable in this town other than the raw oil. That's the only thing I can sell here. Everything else goes to the chemical plant here that turns the plastic bottles, and the plastic bottles get sold to the state, and they really aren't that profitable. So I think right now what I'm going to go ahead and do is kind of just bite the bullet and take the hit on finances for even building these 2 items. There we go. Those guys are gone. So now any oil that we do have should be going to the warehouse. I believe you are automatically going to the warehouse. You are going to the hardware store. Oh, you know what? That's probably what was happening. Oops. I thought I set this back to normal, but I didn't. But now that's going to go ahead and go to the warehouse, and then the warehouse is going to automatically sell it to the town, and we should hopefully start kind of making some more money here, because in all actuality that plastic bottle factory was just a waste of time there. Later on in the game, maybe we can go ahead and replace it and start building some stuff, but right now we just can't. We have another random event that's going to allow us to sell chocolate cakes for 50% more, I think. Or no, there's a demand for 50% more chocolate cakes and berry pies. So we don't have either of those right now. We could make those eventually, but right now we don't have either of them unlocked, and I really don't have the infrastructure built to even like try and even produce those right now. We need berries, sugar, and I'm guessing that's dough. Yeah, we need dough as well. So we need another 2 or 3 buildings to go ahead and get that thing up and running, with another probably 1 or 2 berry farms to produce the berries we need for that thing, and that's not going to happen for the time being here. I'm going to go ahead and throw this back into fast forward mode and see if maybe we can go ahead and try and kind of crawl our way back into some sort of a profitable margin here, where we can go ahead and pay off at least one of those loans, or the loan that's causing, what was it, 25% interest rates right now. So I'm gonna do that. We are at max capacity on the water, so that's a good sign, at least for this place. So that should mean any water that comes into the warehouse, which we have 69 right now, we have a capacity of 74. That's a bit much. I don't need that much. Am I sending the water? I should be sending the water to the orchards, which I am. And do the orchards backlog water as well? They do, and they're only storing 3. I might run into issues with this warehouse because there's so much water in it, so I might have to rearrange some stuff here. I don't know what I just lost 200,000 on. What did I lose that on? Building upkeep. Okay, building upkeep and the loan, I guess, is what that just went into. But again, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward and see if we can go ahead and do something with this. I just realized it, but we can actually pay off the bankruptcy loan that we just took out a minute ago. It's already down to 3.42 million owed back on it. So we have currently 4.29. So let's go ahead and pay that off so we don't have to deal with the interest rates on it. And now all we have to deal with is another 6.3 million on the starter loan. And then we are clear from any sort of paybacks on the loans here. And then we will hopefully start generating a bit more money here and not having to worry about the negatives on the monthly loans and stuff like that. So I went ahead and started having our warehouse actually start selling water to the state, because right now we have so much of it being produced. I guess I can go ahead and turn off one of the water siphons to kind of cut down on how much water we're producing, but I think when the building's there, it's still going to generate an upkeep cost, so I might as well have some sort of income coming out of it. And instead of deleting the whole building and all of its little pumps, we're just going to leave it be, because eventually I do want to go ahead and expand the farms over over here, and I just kind of need everything to even out here and start producing money at least, right? It says we're gaining. I guess we'll see if that's going to go ahead and be a thing when the month ticks over to the next month here. I don't know if it will or won't. We are gaining a decent amount of money at least. I would like to be in the 6 figures, but I will settle for 81,000 being generated a month, and hopefully at some point we'll go ahead and be able to start researching some more things and expanding our little business area here and getting into other territories, since the other computers seem to just be able to do it really easily there. We really got off to a bad start by trying to do oil right at the start of the game here. Oh, look at this. We can actually rank up our town now. I don't know why. We didn't really do anything different. We just been sending it the same stuff. I didn't bid on this or anything. But now we need to go ahead and send it 7 of whatever that is and 5 bricks, it looks like. If we click on it, it tells us, so we need 7 wall panels, which we don't have being produced. And then we need 5 bricks as well to go ahead and complete whatever this little quest is. So we could either go ahead and pay for it. We can go ahead and just pay 294,000 for the bricks, and then we need 1.8 million for the walls, since we don't have either of these being produced. And what do we need to even unlock those? They're going to be in here somewhere. The walls are 1.8 million on their own, and then we need to buy this thing for 1.4, so that's already 2.1 million, no, 2.2 million to go ahead and get into that, and then another 400,000 to go ahead and get into the bricks, which is going to bring us up to, what is that, 2.6 million to go ahead and produce those things just for that one little quest here. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do is actually just buy our way into it. I don't know if there's a time limit on this. I don't see one at the current little menu thing here. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this, 294,000. That's fine. And then we're going to go ahead and fast forward some more time here and hopefully generate enough for this item as well. And then that's going to go ahead and allow us to have multiple new buildings put into the store, the city here. And then maybe with these guys, we can go ahead and sell some different things, because we don't really have all that many like raw resources here in this location. We have oil still, right? We're already producing oil, and all we have left is copper currently, and we can't actually do anything with that unless we want to just go ahead and sell it to the state, which I don't really want to do at the moment. I also went ahead and disabled the water in the warehouse being sold to the state because it wasn't doing anything. We ran out of water over here in our orchards, and so I had to go ahead and stop that from selling, because it was selling all of it to the state and not going to the orchards anymore, which is not great for us. But we are at 1.5 million just about, so in a minute here we should go ahead and be able to go ahead and buy the walls for this thing and then rank up our city here. Okay, there we go. I went ahead and paused it just so we didn't get taxed on the amount of money here, and we can actually go ahead and do this. So let's go ahead and do it. We got that unlocked, and I think as soon as we go ahead and unpause it here, we're going to get some fireworks going off in the town here. And I guess not. Do we? Oh, we have to click on one of these, so we can only do one of these shops. Okay, I misunderstood that. I thought we get all 4 of them. Okay, so let's see here. This one's going to be a bunch of clothing items. And we need, I'm going to guess, probably cotton farms to go ahead and produce the clothing with that. We have construction goods, which is going to allow us to make walls and paper rolls and stuff like that, which we would probably need rubber trees for the rubber and some other items for the other things there. We have this one, which is going to allow us to actually utilize the copper that we have right now that we aren't producing anything with or even mining just yet. So that could come in handy. It's going to let us make buttons and copper wires and stuff like that. And then the last one's going to be a toy store, which is going to be a bunch of like wood and probably just a bunch of wood and metal maybe being used to go ahead and produce those toys. Or plastic, I guess, not metal. So for right now, let's go ahead and do the iron one, because this is going to allow us to start making stuff with copper, and hopefully that'll go ahead and help in the long run here. So we can go ahead and see the recipe, or the items at least. So we have copper tubings, we have diodes, we have steel barrels, we have copper wire, ceramics, and buttons and cans. Okay, so hopefully those recipes don't require anything other than copper, because that's really all we have in our disposal here. So the steel is going to need iron and coal, which we don't have either of those in the border of our town here, so we need to expand to be able to even do that. I already messed up here. I can see that already. Same thing for the cans. The cans need steel apparently to make cans, and that's not going to happen. The steel barrels, again, need steel, so we can't do that. The ceramics, we could do that. I think, yeah, actually, no, we need coal and sand, and we don't have any coal in the border. So we can't make the glass, we can't make the ceramics. We can go ahead and make the copper wires at least. It just needs copper. And the same thing with the copper tubing, we just need copper, so that's good. We can't make the diodes because they need glass. And was that all that we could make in the upgrade thing that we just got? Oh no, we needed buttons too, right? The buttons, oh, we can make the buttons. We just have to place the building back down to make the plastic, and then we can turn those buttons into something usable, I guess. So that's cool now that we have that available. And let me just double check and see what else was on that listing. I think we looked at everything there. Yeah, that was everything on the listing here. Okay, so some of this stuff sells for pretty good too. I mean, the pricing is pretty good. The copper tubing sells for $27,000, and I don't think anything over here sells for that much. Yeah, we have like $11,000, $12,000 is the most. And then over here on the produce stuff, same thing. It's like $10,000 to $12,000 is the maximum profitability thing there. So we can go ahead and set up a copper mine and at least start producing the copper pipes and the copper cables, because all we need for that is just copper. So that's kind of okay, I guess. What is this? Research grants. Oh, that's why we got the money. Okay, so apparently we had a random event that popped up as a research grant. That's why we jumped up $1 million, and that's why I paused the game. Okay, I didn't realize that even happened. But yeah, that's how we got the money to go ahead and afford the town upgrade there. So we don't have the actual $1 million to actually do any upgrading in our stuff here, but we do need to go ahead and unlock some things. So let's see here. Where was the copper at? Was it here? No, was it here? Yeah. So we need to go ahead and do this one. That's $400,000, and we need to do the copper cabling. That's also $400,000. But before I actually buy either of those, let me quickly open this thing back up again, and let's actually see which one's more profitable. So $27,000 for the piping, $26,000 for the cables. So it really doesn't matter which one I go with, but the cabling does go into the buttons. And so that's another thing we can actually make. So let's make the choice of going with the copper cabling, right? It's a little less profitable slightly than the copper piping, but we're going to be able to go ahead and turn that into buttons. And I don't know how much the buttons go for because I didn't even look at that. That was my bad. Let's go ahead and check that out. 61,000. So yeah, we can definitely maybe just kind of sell a couple cables, generate some cash, and then turn that into another one of the plastic factories and start turning out buttons. And maybe we just become like the button empire of making buttons with the stuff that we're producing to try and like fund our production stuff here. But so far so good. We are kind of staying consistent into the positives here. So, I mean, that's great. That doesn't really happen all that frequently here. But anyways, I think for today, that's actually going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. Next episode, we'll go ahead and begin the production line of trying to set up a copper mine, which is 225,000. So that's not too bad. And then we need to go ahead and replace our oil factory thing to go ahead and turn out some plastic, and then hopefully we can just go ahead and start making some money here and begin expanding into another area at some point here, because currently the computers are up to 3 different HQs, so they're in 3 different areas producing stuff. This guy's in the neighboring one now and kind of polluting the area. But yeah, if we don't get our things together here soon, we're just gonna kind of get steamrolled by the computers. I don't know if they're buying my stocks yet or not. No, they're not buying my stocks. So yeah, I'm worth 11 million apparently, and the other computers are 42 and 47 million apiece. So yeah, we need to make up some ground here. We're doing really, really badly. But anyways, that's gonna go ahead and be it for today's episode. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.